before they finally retire. I think it will help us.
Ah, all right, Rufai,
It's
this issue of retirement, right? Some people have talked about the fact that how we have some military officers, military generals who have been involved in one way or the other with insurgency. Right, so you have a situation where you're retiring major generals. What exactly does that look like? Especially as some of these individuals know the way and manner with which the military operates. So, would you not? Are we not likely to have moles who sort of feed information to the insurgents? That's number one. And would you not have disgruntled retired generals who would sort of have to team up with these insurgents?
Especially considering the fact that they feel they still have more years to put in
Exactly.
service.
and that's why I was suggesting sort of like still keeping them in something what I call the veterans. You, uh, in terms of mold, insurgents probably. I don't really think that the top option now become more. I think they've served so much. They've the top echelon. I think it's just like we able to use them, use their intellectual experience, and I'm also saying this as even at the public civil servant because we allow institutional memory die like that. There's no we should rate institutional memory and keep for posterity, and which becomes very problematic. So I think once we can solve the of having a way memory, I think life can be a whole lot better. I don't know the thinking round. I think to a large extent that people can like a veterans corps where you keep them. Yes, they're already retired, they're already on their pension and all of that, but you still keep them activity wise. It could be a veterans advisory council or something where they still are active, are still laying thought processes to things like that,
All
or
right.
keep them as reservists.
All right, the
Never
next
know.
the next story we have is contained on the Vanguard newspaper, which says 6,221 Nigerian doctors lost to UK in the last 6 years, according to International College of Surgeon. This is not a new thing to us in Nigeria, the Japa syndrome. But what is quite alarming is on this the fact that World Health Organization ratio or standard says one doctor to 600
600.
patients, but what we currently have is one doctor to 4,000 patients. What should we do as a country, because it is becoming
A menace.
unbecoming?
We have a doctor's crisis. That's myself, and that's why I was appalled when the likes of the former minister, Minister of Labour, will bring perks there. It's not about that. It's about the fact that we have. So what is the solution? Number one, create an enabling. Number two, bolster the healthcare sector. Because you see, I think the term solution is that we need to have a medical industry that has to be revenue. If we have that, then our doctors will do. I think the American healthcare takes a sizable bunch of it. I think it's about $3 sector. So if we can have of that sector, team medicine and doctors up for further investment. Say post-COVID, most investment are coming in hospitals, but they're put in highbrow areas. Once we can get more of this investment, and also government to put more money into the healthcare sector, then we can start to keep this back. Because it is actually possible to keep them free. Because in the 70s, when the economy, we kept our doctors back. The economy started to plummet in the 80s, that most of them started to take, for instance, the Saudi used to Ibadan to get their healthcare
Sorry,
because we
Mr.
have
Fry, sorry to cut you. We're still having issue with the network. I don't know if it's from our end or your end, dear, but it's
let
really
call
cracking.
let me call the number.
Okay. All right, we'll still reconnect with Rufai Husseini there because he is making a very valid point. Quite important that we have to make sure we get a clear signal to allow you listeners get whatever a message is trying to pass, because the issue of healthcare in Nigeria is very, very key. It's something that we cannot overemphasize on, because the rate. I mean, the margin is too wide. One doctor to 600 patients, but we already have one doctor to 4,000 patients. I mean, it's
That's
quite
that's
alarming.
a 3,400
Deficit.
listen.
Hello.
Because I was saying,
Yeah.
the better. Oh,
Yes, we can hear you.
okay, so as I was saying, so you seem to knock off the whole back. It's and it is not.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry about
So,
that.
UCH in Ibadan used to be, I think, they rated the fifth best healthcare teaching hospital in the Commonwealth, and we had a lot of good medical stock staying behind, and but they started to leave in the eight when the economy started falling, when we had the first Japa syndrome. And I keep telling people, historically, the first Japas or the Andrews. If you remember my Mario Garrett's song of the 80s, Andrew, no leave town, no Nigeria goes five. So Andrew, no, so they were the Andrews of this world. But I think once we can infuse the economy and get it a lot better working, these people will stay. Because most of the people that go abroad, it's not that they really love. A lot of Nigerians love Nigeria. It's just because of the problem. That's why they are leaving. So improve upon the healthcare sector, improve the allowances of doctors, create an enabling environment, invest in medical infrastructure, most importantly, open up the medical space, give tax breaks and all of that and subventions to be able to import medical equipment and the likes, and let's see how the economy grows.
Do you think we should also do more on our education sector, especially when you look at training of new medical doctors? Do we have?
Yes, we should also. But we should also do that. But in all fairness, we have done very good as regards training. With the minimal meager resource, we have done very good at training. Nigerian doctors are about the best in the world. Anywhere they are trained, and it's very cheap. Also, that also, discounts for, the training equipment and training aid that could make training a lot better. But at a very cheap rate, a lot of people train doctors in this country and they go abroad, and that's even the sad thing for me, the fact that with our highly subsidized education and tuition, our economy is not enjoying it, then the doctors are being shipped abroad. But we definitely know that someday when the economy starts to reflect, they'll come back. And most of them too, we don't always forget them, because one thing I like about the Nigerian diaspora is that they love home so much. They are more aware of things in Nigeria than Nigeria.
Yes.
When I'm abroad sometimes, I'm with some of my friends and we're talking, the level of knowledge, I'm like, oh boy, even me where I didn't just say they keep up.
Yeah.
And I know definitely this is not for people back home. I've met doctors in England that say, oh, if I watch your show, thank you for all you do. I'm doing this medical outreach and charity. But I've partnered with, and they've done a lot of things for elderly care and things like that. I'm very passionate about elderly care, back at home. So,
as always.
And a lot of them are retiring and they're coming to set up hospitals here. And those hospitals are fast becoming better and excellent, but it's not pervasive enough. And once we can do that, we should be able to do that. Okay, take for instance, a friend of mine just yesterday was telling me about his wife doing a surgery. He wanted to go do that knee replacement surgery abroad, but they told her she could do it in the hospital here in Lekki, and she's done it and it's successful.
Whoa.
I mean, pockets of center. Yeah, she did it in Lekki here, and it's successful. So, but you can say about the cost, but I think the cost will even out when we have more investments in the medical sector. So we can do it. We can do it. It's just about us looking for it. This country will be great. That's the mandate God gave me. Go and help build a great Nigeria. And that's why I'm so passionate about this country. I know it's going to work.
Yeah, certainly it will.
All right. Rufai, moving on to the next headline, talking about the budget for National Assembly members and their accommodation and all their allowances. We're looking at a 4.05 million naira allocated for accommodation, 1.52 million naira budgeted for domestic staff, 607,920 for utilities, 101,320 thousand naira for house maintenance. We have a 506,000 naira for wardrobe allowances, and we have a 6.8 million naira for furniture allowances. This is per senator now. It is such a huge amount of money. It is a huge amount of money.
I'm so upset hearing all of that. Why do we do that? At first, my solution has always been, let's have a unicameral legislature. Let's whittle down the size of these people. Probably keep only the senators or something. I don't know. Why we can iterate our idea. Secondly, why fritter away most of people that already have homes in Abuja? Why fritter away money on? Most of these people have homes in Abuja. They are rich already, and that's why we should make it part time. All they should just pay them is an allowance for sitting. Why fritter? Why give million for furniture? They should bring their furniture from wherever they are. That's just it. It's as simple as that. All of this money, we are giving them allowance for aids and things. No. That we are cutting our coat according to our cloth. The economy is bad. Nigerians have taken a real haircut in their standard of living and everything. We're paying exorbitant amounts of fuel and all of that. It's not easy on people. The economy is biting hard. Me now, I'm looking at everywhere I go. I'm calculating my fuel because the day I went to buy fuel at 490 here, it peppered my body. Normally, the amount I used to fuel my
we are buying 540 in Abuja here.
To get.
Yeah.
So, if of this, and you're telling me you want to give somebody 6 million to buy furniture, what is he buying? Is it not sitting and chair and TV? Yeah? No. You can't be funding that kind of lifestyle. That's how we must whittle them down. No, they can't continue this way. This is very sad. And we are filtering away 24 billion. Do you know how many schools that will, do you know how many work it will do on the hospitals? Even if that was 1 billion, if it's a cancer screening machine we buy in key federal medical centers, that you know what it will make on the life of people. It's very, very difficult to be able to get the cancer screening. No, let's do better.
I think I really buy this. I really buy this your idea of saying let's have a part-time legislature so that they just come, they do their sitting, they get allowance, and they go. And also, it's going to have an impact in terms of our electioneering campaign, because the money at which we talk about money politics, we talk about vote buying, the money at which these people pump to get to position, because they already know that by the time they get there, they will recoup their investment. But if they know there is no too much money to go get there, it's not that juicy enough, they won't be bringing out their money to pump and mess our politics up.
And the truth is, we people too should stop collecting money from them. Because we are also part of the problem. All right?
Yeah.
We are also part of the problem where we are collecting money from them, and because of election. It's very sad. It's very sad. It's very sad. We should not do that. There are so many perks and all of that. Yeah, we should not do. We should not do that.
All right, now. Okay, go ahead, please.
I don't know why our leaders can't even fly commercial planes.
Exactly. I don't get it.
I don't know why our leaders. I'm trying to fact check. I think if my memory serves me right, former Argentine president Gotin, he flew a commercial airline, even as leader. Mauricio Macri, if my memory serves me right, I'm still going to fact check that story. Flew a commercial airline. We need to cut all these costs.
I mean, we even see some of our governors going to UK and US following train to move around.
Yes, now. So why I don't know about this. All you just need to do is to get your secret service guys with you and your age, and they're there with you. Before they come in, your airline. Why is it so difficult now? Let's just cut this cost and let big take it for granted. Pure and simple.
All right, still sticking with politics, let's take a look at this particular headline on the Punch newspaper, which says PDP holds reconciliation parley, Wike others absent. As part of moves aimed at uniting aggrieved members of the party, the leadership of the People's Democratic Party yesterday met with a committee made up of prominent members, including former Senate President Bukola Saraki, immediate past Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Udom Emmanuel, and the committee was raised by the National Working Committee to meet with the acting chairman Umar Damagun, deputy national chairman South Tofik Arapaja, among other national working committee members, to see how they can bridge the gap and mend some of the cracks that exist in the People's Democratic Party. But notably among the absentees was former River State Governor Nyesom Wike. So what do we make of this situation? Because there is
Isn't
this
it too
perception.
late? Isn't it too late for a reconciliation with a Wike, for example?
I don't know. The PDP will have to fix their own internal problems, but I don't think he's ready to rumble, or I don't think he's ready to do tango. Begging pardon, it was the word I wanted to use with the PDP, and he's shown them. And I think that there's a need to reconcile. If you can call your bluff, and you must learn to live with the consequences. The consequences will be also letting to know that some people will never be on your side. Some people that might be on your side before will never be on your side again. And you must learn to move on with life. So the PDP trying to get Wike back, I think it's just a boss fight, I think they should let him be.
Because
the man has said too much, he's done a lot of...
because I can see,
So
based on his antecedent, it's leaning towards the All Progressives Congress, even though he said it's PDP true and he's not going to join the APC. But from his antics, can we say he's working with the APC?
So he's playing a game, and the truth is, he's playing a game where he's taking the PDP for a ride. And one thing I tell people is never allow anybody to take you for a ride. Never allow people run rings around you, because in the end you'll feel stupid. And never you try to appease people that run rings around you. If they love you so much, they will fall in line. Wike is not the first person to have lost the presidential election. So you should stop acting like it's the very end of the world. So if he wants to run ring around his party and disrespect his party and hurt his party, which they have done in the elections, the party should learn to know that there's life after Wike, maybe life after Wike. And the PDP had existed before Wike, also be existing. So they should just learn it and have peace. Some people that died before will never be on your side again. It's just life. Learn to move on with it. And acquire new people that will be on your side. Enough of all of this wiki talk.
All right. So thank you so much, Rufai, for joining us this morning. We'll go ahead and take some calls. Thank you so much.
Yes. Morning, Abuja.
Pardon?
Morning, Abuja. Bless you, Abu.
All right. Thank you so much, Rufai. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Bless you.
All right, so that was Rufai, and he did justice to the headlines. So we're calling on you to send us a message, give us a call. Let's know what you think about any 1, 2, 3 of our headlines, right? 0700, pardon me, 0700 010 961 961. I'll take that again, 0700 010 961 961. That's the number to call or send a WhatsApp message to join the conversation this morning. Ali, this whole conversation about cost of governance, especially with the judiciary, the legislative, and how much it costs, just to the upkeep of the entire National Assembly. Bear in mind that the leadership of the National Assembly wasn't covered in this particular report. There was no, mention of how much they take for allowances, especially the speaker, the deputy speaker, the Senate president, and the vice as well. So the deputy Senate president, they were not mentioned. How much how much is allocated to them for all these allowances, talking about accommodation, domestic staff, utilities, house maintenance, wardrobe and furniture. They were not given, we don't have their record yet. Right? So in a situation where you're looking at just let me quote unquote, to quote the military, just a bloody senator, right? We're looking at a bloody senator, and his house allowance is 4.05 million naira. Million naira. Where exactly is he renting this house? If he's not looking for highbrow areas, where else would he be renting the house? And bear in mind, there are people who have been lawmakers over the years. They have their own houses in Abuja.
Yeah.
They have their own houses, resident in Abuja. You're still paying them 4.05 million naira for accommodation. How does it make sense?
You know, it really.
If you had a job, right, that
Yeah.
was relocating you to a different place, of course they'll pay you that moving fee, and they'll pay you that money to relocate you to wherever it is that you're being, moved to. They'll pay you accommodation allowances and then money for that particular relocation, and that's the end. They don't pay you relocation fee every year. It's not possible. So if you have a situation where we have, senators who are relocating to Abuja to be able to work, then that's different. If we have new senators coming into the office,
Yeah.
then we can make a case for the accommodation. But how many new senators do we have coming in that every single senator is giving this amount of money?
It's really call for concern when we talk about trying to see how we cut down on cost of governance. And I know most times you hear them saying, how much is the salary of a senator? How much is it's not as if we are taking much. The other time, back in 2021, when former Senate President Ahmed Lawan came out to say, how much is the salary? Is it 1.5 for senators? I think it should be around 1.5 for senators when he came out to reveal that in 2021. When a lot of Nigerians were asking, how much are they earning? Why is it that they earn so much? Monthly salary of the senator is 1.5, just like I said.
Yes.
Then House of Reps around 1.3
1.3
million naira. But some of those allowances that you see, they say 200% of basic salary. So 100% of basic salary. That is one thing that, yes, I know Nigerians will start asking questions, because these people are supposed to come and serve, not Nigeria to serve them with their own resources. They're supposed to come and serve. So that is why I said earlier to Rufai that I think I really so much support. I lean towards his opinion that there should be a part-time job for them. They should come and they get sitting allowance and they go back without getting all of these things. Now, another thing is that how do they get information from their constituents? Some of them find it difficult to even go back to their constituency to get feedback. You are supposed to come and represent your people here, but you don't even communicate with your people. You don't even know what are the problems of your people.
This issue of, it's a very, very confusing situation that we find ourselves in, because you have people representing their constituents in the National Assembly, in Abuja. You're meant to be with your people. So how do we correlate that? Because we know that the senators are supposed to be sitting. They're supposed to be sitting, discussing different things, bringing up different bills, trying to push for their constituents and all of that. But how else can they feel the brunt of what exactly their constituents are going through without staying
with them,
with your constituents?
Just like this person said a couple of days ago when I watched one of his interview, former Kano State Governor, also former Senator and Minister of Defense, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. He was saying at some point, former Governor of Kano State, Ganduje, prevented him from entering Kano for over how many? I think for 3 to 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, that he was unable to go to Kano. So I was like wondering, he was trying to express how bad their relationship was, talking about his relationship with Ganduje. But the perspective or this part I was coming from was not what he was saying. Like, you've not gone to your state for this number of years and you're a senator representing these people. How do you interact with these people? Is it that you bring them down to Abuja or you interact virtually, or how? Like, you need to go and have a feel and see what is happening live with your people. That is exactly what I expected him to do, and that is how far we can go today, because the conversation is really moving on and on and on, and time is not really on our side.
Yes. So thank you so much for listening to the Front Page Review right here on VOP 96.1 FM. My name is Gesire. It's been a wonderful time having a conversation with you, looking at the headlines. Let's do this again, 7 a.m. sharp tomorrow. But don't forget that the entire morning ride starts from 6 a.m. down to 10:30 rather. Yes, 10:30. So make sure that you're keeping it locked right here. Up next is the Iboamaka coming up next. So make sure that you're keeping it locked right here. You're not going anywhere. Good morning to you.